Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
We'll just wait for another 2 minutes. I think how many? 8 of us are there. So we'll just wait for 2 minutes and then we'll start. Okay. So how many of us are there? Good to see you, Ujjwala, today. The network is fine, or are you back
Ye-
to Mumbai?
yes, I'm back, ma'am. I'm back to Mumbai.
Earlier on, it used to take like n number of hours to come to college and all those things. Now it takes another kind of a preparation to start a lecture altogether. So many. All of us suddenly over a period, overnight became tech savvy, isn't it?
Have less people.
how many of us are there now? 8 of us. Are others planning to join or how is it?
7 of us are there, I think, including you.
Ma'am, three of them have informed me about not joining. Like Vaibhav and Shilpi, they are not well. And I think Ishita, she is not joining for some reason. The rest, actually, I'm not aware, so I think we can start.
Okay, fine. So we'll start the lecture. So today I'm going to start with the module. Actually, I didn't go through the drive last time. So I've, now from today I'm going to stick to the PPTs, which they're quite good and comprehensively made. So we will say, and of course, so for your reference also, it will be better. And they are quite comprehensive. So we will weave around our discussion, around these slides. So we are going to, this first 1.1 module is basically what we have covered. But today, when we are going to run through the slides, then definitely it's going to sort of make us revise the concepts. And of course, there will be additions, there will be newer things to learn. So, how was, did anybody read the newspaper? Did we do anything? Were there any business stories that are there to share? Anything that we did exciting and interesting? Anybody? Anything interesting that we read or we are yet to start?
I'm started, open the newspaper. And
Open the newspaper. Okay,
yeah.
good. Oh, that's a big achievement in itself.
Yeah, share it with the class for few lessons.
So was
But
there anything that you read and anything that struck with you?
the difficulty in understanding the concepts, like the terminologies, and it is compared to other newspapers. It's to go into get that few words is little.
Okay, but
To understand it gets difficult. Yeah.
is there inclination and willingness to do that?
Yeah, I would want to understand. I think with all these subjects, maybe it will be easier for us to understand going ahead, and maybe I need to Google and read and then understand the concepts.
Yeah.
That's what
So just read one story
yeah,
from the entire newspaper that touches you.
yeah.
Trust me, that will make build your understanding over a period of time. Just one or two stories. You can just
Okay.
get anybody who reads. You can just get one or two stories,
Huh.
which like today's Economic Times, as it is in front of me, talks about Swiggy. Now, Swiggy, everybody knows. Who does not Swiggy things? Zomato and Swiggy is something, I saw
Yeah.
a meme the other day that if you want to really roam around freely, then wear a Zomato t-shirt. So it's like, these days in these times. So Swiggy and Zomato is something that everybody knows. So today's newspaper carries a story of Swiggy, which says that SoftBank, which has always been a funder to these, have provided funds to all these, companies, is still it is going to give more of vision fund to them. So if you just read something, then there is again a story which talks about Citibank, that it is going to come out of its retail segment as a part of its global planning. So Citibank, Swiggy, all of us know about. We have just so if you read about these things, if you don't also go into the detail of them, but if you just read them, you will
Yeah.
know that okay, something is happening. And over a period of time, as you will keep attending the lectures, as you will keep understanding the concepts, all these things will start to come alive to you. I'm sure many of the students have benefited out of it. But I really strongly feel, you can refer to you can ask your seniors also. I really, really like people, because I always feel that if you are well informed about the environment, about the business environment, you always have a very undue advantage when it comes to interviews, when it comes to talking, when it comes to sitting in a social gathering also. You come out more, I don't know, I mean, it feels good about your own self if you are more informed, more than impressing anybody else. You feel good about your own self. So just try to make that little effort. It will go a long way, and these 3 months will be really, really critical for you if you really want to hone that kind of a business acumen, so to say. It will really go a long way. Okay, so we did what is strategy last time. Any ideas on what we spoke about as far as strategy is concerned? Can you see my screen? Is it visible to all of you on your
Yes, ma'am.
laptop? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So, anything that you would like to tell, say anything about strategy that we learned the other day? If somebody asks you what is strategy, what will you, I mean, what is something that will come to your mind? I mean, whatever we did last time, any tidbits out of it? Of course, we will be revising everything.
Ma'am,
Yes.
uh, I yesterday only went through all the recording because yes, that last time session I had missed halfway,
Okay,
due to
that's very
network
nice.
connectivity. So I remember it was very nice. Like the strategy, what was defined is it is a set of actions and decisions taken by the organization or the manager or the organization so as to achieve their long-term goals. It can be achieving their vision and mission also.
Yes.
So it is in a very short. That is the definition of strategy. So it's entire planning, and you mentioned about three things: creating the uniqueness about the brand or about the organization. Then trade-off, which is you choose some things and you forego some things. So choose something which is in alignment with your goals or with your mission, and then forego some things for it. And then the third one is creating a complete fit, that is creating a complete set of actions or the choosing the things which go in hand in hand and which form a chain and which helps you to achieve your goals. So that is in short the
Very
strategy.
nice, Ujjwala. I think you've really done your homework well.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm happy about it. Last time we discussed certain
Examples.
certain case studies. Today again, I'm going to tell you one story. Generally my sessions have a lot of business stories. So today again we are going to, since we are starting on a new module, so we are going to again look at strategy, and then of course we are going to have our own discussion also. That is how we have planned. So I'm going to give you a scenario, and you are all going to go into the breakout, and that's going to happen in the second half, and then you are going to discuss about things. But before that, I will, as we go through this first module, I will give you another one or two case studies just to see. And why we are doing these case studies, maybe later on we will just be not be having such detailed discussions on case studies on various things, because we will be doing a lot of, we will be implementing all these things. So right now we are just trying to understand the business environment, how fits and how uniqueness and how all these things are developed into the system. And later on in the later sessions we will be implementing. It will be more like we will be learning new models, and a lot of models, and then which will be related to implementation, formulation, and evaluation and control of strategy, and wherein we will be implementing. So at this stage, in the initial few lectures, we will be dealing with a lot of companies, and just try to broaden your vision as to how they have created the uniqueness in the system, and how they have made these fits so invincible that they were ahead of times. And of course, we are going to see some companies which, like we saw Onida the other day, we see Kodak the other day, because I feel that companies who have not been successful, if you study about them also, that is also very important, because you learn from your failures. Then you come to know that what one should not do. So we will be seeing the examples of the successful companies, and we will be seeing not so successful companies, so that we come to know what are the learnings happen. I feel more from both. It's a perspective that today we are going to see how IKEA. Do you know what is IKEA? It has recently come to India, and it's going great guns.
Yes,
Yeah, has anybody visited the place? It's near Panvel, so it's in Turbe, I guess, somewhere
The
that.
lockdown, it is difficult.
Yes, now it is in the lockdown, but its online platform was open till 2 3 days back, and
I'm
yeah.
Navi.
who has visited, so like Vaibhav
Uh,
is not there in the class today. So there is someone who had visited the store.
The store.
Okay.
Okay.
Detailed explanation we can get.
but isn't it in Navi Mumbai?
It's in Navi
Yeah.
Mumbai. Yes,
Uh,
it's in Navi Mumbai. So it's I think 1 or 2 stations before Panvel. I think Turbe or somewhere it is. So that is how it is. I mean, I think so. I think so. I mean, I was planning to visit the place. That is why I saw the thing, but then I could never go. Anyway, I visited
okay.
this facility outside India many a times. So, but you know, the main thing about this is now when I talk about it, because all of us across the board have have heard the name. Now, see, all this while we had so many such outfits, not such outfits, but their counterparts. You know, we had Pepper Fry, we had Urban Ladder. Of course, Pepper Fry and Urban Ladder were primarily online platforms, and of course, for some experienced showrooms that they had made. But furniture, as far as home stop is concerned, we have of Shopper Stop, we have a Home Stop, we have a Home Center, we have so many other outfits, and I mean we have whole lot of local domestic carpenters who take care of our needs. Now, what makes IKEA special? Why it's a global setup and why it's a global name? I think IKEA is one of the most beautiful case studies if you really want to understand strategy and how a uniqueness is fitted into the system, and how chain of activities are designed that makes IKEA's strategy invincible wherever it is open. Wherever it is open, it is a success. And in such times when the showroom is closed, its online sales are going really good, and they are doing a very good business. When you talk about creating a fit, a basic consistency in its designs, consistency in its operations, consistency in terms of its quality, consistency in terms of the overall experience that the showroom provides, that the outfit provides. It's amazing. You go anywhere. I mean, I've been so many places just for my, because I've been into this space since a long time. So it's always IKEA has been my favorite case studies, and therefore I keep visiting the places wherever I go and wherever I travel, and trust me, the experience remains the same. So when we are talking about fit and creating a strategic fit, one basic thing is the consistency, that every activity is aligned with the company's value proposition, and it contributes incrementally. So whatever you're doing, and we are going to see this in detail, whatever you are doing, it is taking care of what company stands for. So first thing is, when you are creating a fit, when you are designing a strategy, it's the basic consistency which is there. And what do you mean by this? That the activities are aligned in such a way that the company's value proposition contributes incrementally. Everything adds up. Everything keeps adding up to that larger picture, whatever your vision, whatever your mission, whatever you're producing, whatever you're selling, everything adds up to that. Then all the activities are designed in such a way that they complement each other, that they reinforce each other. That is again a very important principle of strategy, that all the activities which are designed, they complement each other. Not only the place that they sell. We can always say that IKEA had a big pocket. Why didn't they open a store in Mumbai, in town? Because wherever you go, IKEA is a huge facility. It's a huge facility. So earlier on, they were thinking, of malls and so many other things, but you will never get that experience, because when they design IKEA, they keep in mind that it is a full day, kind of a thing, or maybe a half a day or a three-fourth of a day, which will be there, which will go there, and they will have food courts, and they will have, of course, food courts and all are now seen everywhere. But that is again an activity which always and always reinforces the main thing, because they want that the people should, when they are coming, they should spend the entire day there, and therefore they will have a play area, they will have a food court, they will have all those facilities, and make it a family destination wherein everybody will go together and they will pick up their things, and it becomes almost like a outing for the entire family. So it's been designed in such a way. Then another very important thing, when you will talk about IKEA's case study, their mission is to deliver stylish furniture at very low prices. That is their mission. So we will start using these words like vision and mission. So their mission is, whenever we talk about strategy, we talk about mission. So what is IKEA's mission? Mission of IKEA is to deliver the most stylish furniture at low prices. That is what they keep in mind. And all the activities will show a clear trade-off and a very strong fit. For example, if you you'll go there, as you enter the thing, you will see that all the furniture is displayed in they've made the rooms. So if there is a bedroom, there will be various kinds of bedrooms which are all displayed there. Now if that is a case, you don't really have to wreck your brain. You can just go with your dimensions and you will see everything displayed. There is no need for a designer, there is no need for a planner, though they provide designer and planners, but there is no need. You will never have somebody trailing you. आपको क्या चाहिए, आपको क्या चाहिए, okay madam, what can I help you, how? They will have minimal stuff. Why? Because it's all DIY, do it yourself. So you will, at every point of time, you will have those memos and writing pads and all those things. So you will just note down the article number and move on. Select, write the article number, move on. There will be nobody, minimum support to help you with your shopping experience. Why? Because I am trying to give you affordable, stylish, affordable furniture, and all these things, they add up. Now, since I'm trying to, because if I'm going to keep a battery of staff only to help you, who's going to bear the cost? We are going to bear the cost. So little things are done. Another thing, they will always and always, when you go there, and once you note down the thing and you go for there, they have huge warehouses. So there will be hardly any times, because you are making all the effort to go to a place which is so remote, spending your entire day, taking your family. So there are hardly any times when you will feel that they are stock out with things. So therefore, they have huge warehouses. In those huge warehouses, you will feel that they are compact, flat boxes. Now, everything, whatever you can think under the sun, they will be packed in flat boxes. Now, why flat boxes? Because flat boxes, if you stack up, number of boxes can be stacked up. If you have one triangle box, one circular box, one another shape of box, pentagon shape of or a hexagon shape, it will be difficult in one cargo to fit such things. They will occupy more space. So imagine even the packaging, they will all have very, very everything. Even if you get a chair or you get an office chair, the swirl chairs or anything, it will all be in flat boxes, compact flat boxes. That ensures again that in limited space, more can go into it. Then another thing, they encourage DIY. So do it yourself. So in as far as assembly of things are concerned, when it comes to abroad, there are hardly any carpenters or anything. Free services. All these things are very expensive out there. So they will have very beautiful manuals which are very user friendly. But in countries like India, wherein we don't have so much of DIY thing. Outside, if you go right from your studies, your education to everywhere, they have lot of DIYs. If you see all the universities also abroad, the teaching hours will be very less. It will be more for research and more for your own work, and you will have that is how international education scenario works. So DIY is promoted there, so it works there. But in countries like India, where in Hyderabad and all these places where they have opened, they have tied up, they are providing assembly services, and also they have tied up with some local companies. Like here, I think it is with Urban Company, they have tied up for their assembly and all those things. So they are assembling you have to assemble the furniture yourself. Whatever it is generally targeted towards young people who are setting up at home. Both of them are working, one child or no children, and they just go there, pick up the things, and they come. So they have to assemble. So beautiful manuals are there, compact boxes are there, and it allows the buyers easy transport also to their homes with very, very little assistance. Because of those flat boxes, they will give you a carrier for your car also. And of course here you have they have home delivery of things also. So that again contributes to easy transport. That means the time that you are from buying to having furniture in the house is much faster than shipped furniture. Shipped furniture takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. But if they promote that you just visit the center and you get things and you start assembling them, and you are good to go. Why? Because there is paucity of time when it comes to working people. And you will have cafeterias there, which are again self-serviced cafeterias. There also customers are encouraged to just bust their own trays. Then IKEA generally designs its products on its own. So they will have designers. They will, in fact, if you go to their website and if you will see, if you are into online shopping, that some of their designs are as old as 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, and they are doing good till today. So they don't keep changing their designers. It is those same products which you have, they will have. There will be very little additions, because with every additions, what is happening? A new designer. A new designer means more cost. Then again, the construction, if you are manufacturing the same kind of products, then manufacturing is faster and cheaper. You must have heard about this concept of economies of scale. Economies of scale is another thing that we talk about when it comes to strategy. Why? Because if you are manufacturing 10 units of something, and if you are manufacturing 100 units of something, then 100 units manufacturing with the given capital expenditure that you have made on your infrastructure, it works out to be much cheaper than manufacturing 10 units. And that is economies of scale. As you scale up your production, your manufacturing, your the cost per unit cost of production goes down. That is economies of scale. So because they are making same kind of products, their economies of scale are much higher. Then furniture has a few customization options. Generally they don't customize to as per the needs. Whatever is available, it is available, and it is generally, as I told you, it's fully stocked, and it does not require too much of shipping. You can do all those things. Of course those options are there, but you can do those things on your own. So if you see, everywhere there is a trade off. If you really want, in IKEA is deliberately, what they are doing is that they are trying to alienate themselves from those customers who want too much of customization. They are generally going for those people who are like, okay, good to go, but their designs and their quality is impeccable. So there they have worked. Their back end and their activities and their processes, they have really worked well. But they are not into customization as per everybody's. They are, instead what they are doing, they are giving you a huge variety. So if there are tables, there will be hundreds of designs which are already there, but then you have to. So this is creating. So what is the criteria? Stylish furniture, low price, style. IKEA is known for style, low price, and instant gratification. These are three pillars on which IKEA works, and everything will be weaved around it. Instant gratification, how? It's a modular design. What you see, you get. Then instant gratification, why? Because it's a self assembly. Full inventory is always there in the store. So there is no, there are hardly, very few times you get this out of stock kind of a thing. So there is an instant gratification. Then self assembly. Get it, do it. Because of self assembly, there is low price. Because of self delivery, there is low price. Because of because of these suburban locations, enough parking, again low price. You understand? Then store is made in such a way that they can attract high traffic. It is designed in such a way that even if there is a high traffic, there will be no bhagdad out there. So initially, if they had said that you have to take an appointment, go. Of course, this is because of pandemic times also. Outside it does not happen like that, but initially, to avoid rush also, that was also in pandemic times, both. But the store layout is generally, why? Because it's a low price thing, many people will go there, so high traffic can be taken care of. So those layouts are made this way. Then again, thing, low price, how they are able to get the low price? Because of the high volume production which is taking place. So economies of scale is there. Then there is a lot of in-house designing, flat packaging. So meaning thereby, what I want to draw home the point is that for any for any product or service at any level, we need to have a right fit. Fit, and the more closely knit a fit is, the better the business becomes. So that is why strategy is needed. So when we understand the strategy, as Ujjwala very rightly told us, we need to see what uniqueness, and of course, whatever we were talking about IKEA till now, it is all creating uniqueness into the system. The value proposition is created that way. So when we are talking about strategy, we are talking about creation of uniqueness, value position, involving a different set of activities. Can you now understand these things? Niriksha, Janvi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Ketaki, is it making sense? Is it falling into place?
Yes.
So just use this IKEA, map in your mind and try to see whether it fits all these four blocks. Creation of a uniqueness into the system. So all these things, what we are talking about, each one is contributing to creating a unique element into IKEA's business model. Valuable position, they have three positionings. Of course, we are going to do strategic positioning in great detail, but as of now, three types of positioning this business has. One is low price, IKEA plays on its style, and instant gratification. So these are three things, these three positionings that they have, sort of course, the bigger picture is that they provide a stylish, affordable furniture. So deliver stylish, affordable furniture to your home. That's their mission. And in that, the positioning is that it is low price, extremely stylish, and instant gratification, and involving a different set of activities. So that is about the fit that they creates. It requires us to make trade-offs in competing. Now, in this whole thing, they have made a trade-off. They could have gone for various styles of packaging and various different kinds of things. They could have thought about that. Okay, Bombay is a big city, Mumbai is a big city. Why not have a smaller store in maybe in town or in suburbs, western suburbs, where the population is, I mean, the purchasing power may be high. So why not have a smaller store kind of a thing? They could have gone for that, but they are sticking to their, they have made this trade-off that we are going to make, and they have created a seamless online service. They have a seamless delivery, home delivery, seamless online, just to take care of what that they have opened their larger showroom outside the city. I mean, it takes almost 1.5 hours to reach there, and in busy traffic times, it will take much more of a time to reach there. But that's a trade-off. Requires us to make a trade-off in competing. We cannot please everybody. We have to forego certain things. As in life, so in business, we have to forego certain things to take care of other things. And it also allows us choose what not to do. So they opted for self-assembly. They opted for in-house designing. They opted for modular designing. They opted for these suburban, remote suburban locations. These are all the options that they have chose vis-a-vis when they knew that their strategy will not allow them to choose other things. So they work with minimal staff. This is again a part of their strategy. Involves creating a fit among a company's activities. I gave you Indigo's example also, how they have created a beautiful fit. And you can take innumerable examples when it comes to creating a fit. But if I have not created a proper fit, then it won't work. That is for sure. So again, a little different way of saying that. I think we have already about being strategies about being different. It's about creating unique, invaluable. This we have done. Then deliberately choosing a set of activities to deliver a unique mix of value, and choosing to perform activities which are different from the rivals. I'll give you another example of this. If you take, for example, DMart, I think it is one of the most, one of the most successful case studies that one can think of. We have all visited DMart sometime or the other in our life. Now, have you ever wondered why DMart products are cheaper? What makes DMart cheap? It's a supermarket chain, as we all know, and it is operated by Avenue Supermarkets Limited. First store was opened in 2002 in Powai, And DMart today, as of date, has around 214 stores in across Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and many more states. Now, just imagine when so many. One, we had local kirana, which was just I mean, India has a plethora. We don't have to really look far for kirana stores. Then there was Big Bazaar already in the market. There was Star Bazaar and so many marts and malls and so many things. But how come this DMart is so successful? I think its founder has really done a wonderful job in again creating DMart such a success story. There are there are there are innumerable, again, a very nice fit that they have created. I can just highlight few, since we are talking about performing activities differently than the rivals, and this is a sector in which there is a huge presence of rivals. Still, they are doing well. Now, there are various things to this. Number one is, where do I the kind of locality that I choose? You will never see DMart in a high street. Because why? Because these outfits, these outlets are always, in some obscured corners. If you just run through your mind also, barring few Powai, which is in the main market, but apart from that, if I see DMart around me also, they are never on high streets. Because at high streets you will always get the property which is higher priced. So right from day go, if my product is cheap, it's for a reason, because everything passed on. It's again a fit that I'm creating. So every outlet of DMart is very, very strategically placed. These locations are such places where there is generally a heavy footfall. So I need place for parking. I need places which are generally, near dense residential complexes or near railway station. Always, either it is a dense, residential complex where you will have, or near some railway station, because in Mumbai, especially, railway station is quite critical. So those are the places where they identify for these very heavy footfall places. Then uh, they always operate in you will never see a DMart in a mall. It is never there in the mall, in any shopping malls, because again it adds to the cost. It always believes in store ownership model. So they generally either buy the land. Recently also in the newspaper I had read one or two, I'm forgetting the locations, where they have bought the land, and or they will lease out for at least 10, 15, 20 years. So either it is, so once you have a DMart, it means that is there for 50. If they have bought the land, it is there. It is their territory. Otherwise, they will lease out the land for 15, 20 years. Now, what happens is, this helps them to avoid paying rentals, unlike other retailers. And they are not at the whims and fancies of their landowners. So they will always have that stability built into the system. Once they have bought the land, it is their land. They don't have to pay those incremental rentals. Then, if you see the product range that they have, one, they have their own DMart range, which is kept. They have DMart Minimax, they have Premia, they have DMart Homes. So all these, or Dutch Harbors or something like that. So what? So they will always have these kind of outfits where the kind of products, and you will never see very premium products there, because the products are very, very competitive. They have very competitive pricing. They will always give you big discounts. They always have, why are they able to give you those big discounts? Because it all they buy in bulk. They buy in bulk, they get the discount, and they will give to you in discount. In fact, if you see, many a times they will put things, they will really slash down the prices. always such things, especially the frozen food section, you will, where you get all those idli dosa batters and all those things. Sometimes the prices are really slashed. So you should always see whether they must be nearing their expiry, and but they are not expired. So they must be nearing that thing. So while others, they will buy in bulk and they know they have an assured footfall. So they will pass on that benefit to the consumer. So consumer is happy. So likewise, there are lot of things. Then they work with lot of local brands. You will see, it's India is a diverse country, so they will have lot of local brands, which further takes down the cost. So my helps at home also go there. I also go there. Everybody is going there, so they are catering to all the middle class. Their target market is not what Godrej Nature Basket. Neither do they have that kind of a thing, but it is targeted at masses. And for that, local brands, their DMart own brands, all that works. Then self-service again. Self-service is there. You will hardly find anybody coming and asking you for help or rendering you help. Again, with minimal staff, when you're working, then you will be able to give the benefit to your consumers. Every day, low cost things, it is what they follow, that everyday low cost, everyday low price model. So low cost and low price, lowest price retailer network they have, that.
Ma'am,
Yes.
before we go ahead, I wanted to ask that talking about DMart, so there can be exceptions where DMart is in a mall. So like when if that happens, so how do then DMart takes care of the land pricing and all? Because in Pune, in Undri, there's this heritage mall where DMart is in the mall. So like normally we see that DMarts are independent places otherwise,
Yes.
mostly. So how do they then
I'll
take
tell
care
you.
of the pricing
Yes,
then?
yes, I'll tell you. Now, see, the thing is, was this Niriksha speaking? Who was
Ma'am.
Nirishka has asked this question.
Yes,
Who asked the question? I couldn't see.
Riksha
ma'am,
ma'am.
it's Nirisha. Nirisha.
Niriksha only, no? Okay. So good, Niriksha. So the thing is, now see, property prices needs to be checked. They might not be there, which the mall that you are talking, there they must have acquired the property at a particular, either in malls generally we get on rentals. So it must be, so I told you two things. One is that either they buy the property or they lease out the property for a long time. So we need to check at what price. Maybe that mall was the option that they got, and generally at such places the property prices are not very high, so they might have leased out the land for a long time, that property for a long time. So if they have entered into a contract with the land, or they have bought the land, then it must be for a long time that they have leased out. Having said that, by and large, we are talking about their strategy. 90 to 95% exceptions are always there, so by and large, if you see all around you, what percentage of this outfit you find in malls, that is what. So we are working on percentage basis. One or two of cases, three, four, five, six of cases, when you are trying to for expansion, it may be there, but generally speaking, that is the research shows that either they buy the land, like I told you recently also, if you look into the newspapers, I'm forgetting two places they have bought the land. Either they buy the land or they lease out the land. But exceptions are always there. Either they're also in that mall, maybe they have leased out, we need to find out for a long period of time. That is the strategy
So
that they go by. Yeah.
yeah, as far as I remember, like when this mall was getting constructed and it was like nearing to finish, it was, I guess, DMart was the first one to open
Yeah.
in the mall.
Yes.
So, and within the vicinity of, I guess, 4 kilometers only, there's this another DMart which is independent.
Hmm.
So I'm talking about this of what, 2015 or something. So
Okay.
at that point of time when the mall was coming up, so they might have got the place at a lower rent, and it might be that. But then in the coming time, when the residencies around became more dense and everything, so doesn't the place rent or this hikes up?
We will have to check what agreement they have entered with the mall. What we are discussing, Nirisha, here is that what is a general strategy that they follow. Generally, by
Okay.
and large, how does DMart become a low cost thing? That is a strategy that they follow. What, but there might be aberrations. Number one. Number two, what agreement they have entered with that mall, we don't know. So when we are talking about this, we are talking on two and of course outside Mumbai, if you see Pune and remote places, I don't think that the property prices are so high. So there must be some reason why they have done that. So when we are talking about low cost, I'm sure they must have not hiked the prices there. Did they hike the prices there because they are in the mall of their products?
Uh, no, ma'am, not really,
Number one.
not really.
Number two, do you think that the kind of prices that they stock, the look and feel of DMart has changed?
No.
It remains the same. So there must be something that they must have entered. So we are only focusing here on one thing, that they have placed themselves small. But at what terms and conditions they have done, that we don't know. So in basic essence, if they have hiked the prices being in mall, that means that is a time we need to see whether they have gone, little astray from their vision and mission. If they have not hiked the prices, if they are not stocking any premium products there, or not premium, but something away from what DMart generally sells, if they are not doing that and if they are sticking to what they generally have, that means that there must be some understanding which they have. It must be coming into their cost orbit, isn't it?
Right, ma'am. Right.
So that is the thing. So here when we are discussing, there might be one or two because they've expanded a lot. And in case of expansion, there might be one or two cases wherein, they must have, but underlying objective that we have to see is here, we have to see a bigger picture in which we have to see how DMart, so if DMart is stocking the same kind of low cost product, if they are giving you the same kind of services, that products and services, then whatever has been the underlying thing, that is different. So coming back to our discussion, volume, are you okay? Are you
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
you
Understood.
understood that, no?
Yeah.
So yeah. So coming back to our discussion of how they have this thing is, then okay, then negotiation with the suppliers. They have generally when they have eliminated middlemen and intermediaries. How to get that low price again? They generally follow this business to customer model, B2C model. So what they are doing is, by eliminating the intermediaries and middlemen, by following a bulk buying price, and their target audience is what? Who's their target audience? DMart attracts what kind of customers?
Average
Middle income group.
earnings. Yeah, middle income.
Everybody might end up going there, but it's the middle income group that is their target audience. So therefore they follow this business to where the price becomes a big factor, and therefore business to customer model is what they follow. They negotiate their prices with the suppliers because they are into bulk buying, and that is why its products attract an extensive customer base when compared to other retailers. Another factor, when it comes to creating a fit as far as DMart is concerned. DMart has kept its operating expenses very low. 80 to 85% of its outlets, like I told you before also, their operating expenses are extremely low. Have you seen the look and feel of DMart? How many lightings, beautiful lightings you will have? Have you seen the way they are constructed? Very basic. If you compare it to today's, other marts, and then you see DMart, there is a huge difference there. They just create. There is hardly any this thing for very basic. Even there is staff, one who stands to do the billing. They are in very basic uniforms with very basic acumen that is passed on to them. So all this is, then another very important thing what they have ensured is, because the footfall is more, and they hardly because the footfall is more, so and there is bulk purchases that is taking place. If you go to DMart to buy one thing, you end up buying 10 things. Because of that, they are able to ensure timely payments to their suppliers. If you are giving timely payments to your suppliers and there is bulk delivery, then you can take more credits and discounts from them, because then you are giving them assured business to the suppliers. So you are able to get those bulk deliveries with more credits and with more discounts, which gets passed on to the consumers. And when that happens, then automatically in the long run, I benefit, because I end up getting more customers. Then it also does not spend too much of, have you ever seen a DMart ad? Have you ever seen a DMart ad in the on air, on TV, the way others advertise? You hardly might have seen a DMart ad. So therefore, the DMart does not spend so much on advertising, on marketing, on interiors, and they are saving everywhere. Working staff and manpower is again minimal, which again reduces the additional expenses. So these are all the reasons why we sort of able to get that prices down. Is it making some sense? How to choose to perform activities differently than rivals? So whenever you are starting your own enterprise, make sure that you design your fit that way. Whoever wants to, is there anybody who wants to start their own business? Whatever it might be. Maybe you want to start your own, if not your own enterprise, this also helps in building in personality development. Just think how it helps in personality development. All of you aspire, most of you aspire here to become coaches, life coaches. If there are 20 life coaches coming out of MML next year, how each one of you is unique and different, isn't it? What value, what is your positioning? What is Ujwala's positioning, and what is Janvi's, and what is Harshada's positioning? Each one of you, when you came into orientation, you were introduced by Harshada ma'am, and they said that, okay, she is known for this. So it gets etched into a person's mind. So I know Ujwala is my subject leader, and I will always know Ujwala like that. I will always know Harshada that she has been into digital marketing space or whatever she is doing. So I will know Harshada for that. I will know Niriksha for content development. Although so these are the ways you are creating uniqueness to your own self. Now I have to work backwards. How do I work backwards? That is what we are going to see when we will talk about strategy further. So we break here for 15 minutes and we come back at 9:50. Okay. Thank you very much. And if there are any questions and queries, please come after the break. Okay, thank you.
उज्ज्वला मैम, सुप्रिया मैम को एक बारी मैसेज डाल दो कि वो उन्होंने गलती से शायद मीटिंग एंड कर दिया है, बिकॉज शी वाज द होस्ट, सो व्हेन शी लॉग्स इन बैक तो वो मास्टर माई लाइफ के अकाउंट से लॉग इन करे, अदरवाइज वो शेयर नहीं कर पाएगी स्क्रीन। Ma'am, I guess you will have to join in from the Master My Life account because you are no more the host. So you have to make yourself the host to share the screen.
And many 89675174690. I have put post passcode also.
No, 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 no. Ma'am might have given you the login credentials of the Master My Life account, the original account.
Yeah, she has given me. Master My Life is inviting you to schedule Zoom meeting. So I have not clicked on the last time I clicked on the link. So I think one of you told me that you have to log in through by putting the meeting ID and the passcode. So that's what I did. Should I click the link and
No,
then?
ma'am, I'm saying that as you log on Zoom, you log in with your personal ID, right? So I'm asking you to join in from the Master My Life login ID,
Acha, let
not
me.
the Zoom link.
Okay, okay. I'll leave the meeting and then I'll come back.
Yeah, ma'am, sure.
This again is like that. Now I actually logged in from the Master My Life account only.
Just a second, ma'am. Just a second.
I'll leave again then.
Eh, I'll guess you will have to do that.
I'll leave again. But then see, she has sent me this thing. I'll show you. Wait.
Yeah, I got that. I understood that. So that is the meeting link that ma'am has sent you.
What
Or
should I do?
you need to log in from the Master My Life account. Just a second, I'll get connected to Harshita ma'am once, and I'll see what can be done.
Because morning when I this thing when I logged in, I got everything. I was the host at that time. I think.
Because ma'am, the one who takes care of that has logged in and made you the host right at the beginning.
Okay, okay, okay.
So if you are the host and if you
Because if I'm the host, then only I get all those breakout rooms
rooms and
facilities and
everything,
everything. Yeah.
yeah. And if you leave the meeting or end the meeting, it ends for everyone.
Yeah, that I was my mistake. That was
Yeah.
definitely my mistake. But how to rectify this now?
Um. Are you getting an option of login as host? Are
Let
you
me
getting
let me check.
any option? There's one thing of claim host. Yeah. So can you see one a box down there saying claim host
No.
on your participants list? Can you open the participants list and there you can see.
Claim host, yes.
Yeah. So under that, if you're saying to get a host key, you can see login to claim host, right?
Yes.
So when you do that, you join it from the Master My Life account.
Okay, so I'll sign in.
Yeah, as the Master My Life account.
Enter the host key to claim host role. that host key we don't have. So I
No.
log in to claim host.
Yeah.
I log in to claim host, then what should I put as a email ID, not my email ID?
No. Harshada ma'am might have given you the Master My Life login credentials.
Where is that? I can't figure out, yeah.
Ma'am, not on even your faculty group by any chance?
See, faculty group, that's what I'm telling you now. In faculty group, there is a Zoom invite which she has sent me. It has a this thing. Where I asked her also, same link. So she said, yeah, same link.
Yeah, link would be the same. Because all our other faculty, they join in from the Master My Life account and then they...
So it is batch daily at 8 a.m. Master My Life is inviting you to a scheduled Zoom meeting.
Yeah, that is the meeting link
Yes.
you joined in from.
So let me just go back. Should I call up Harshada and check?
Just a second, ma'am. Just a second. I'm just getting connected to her. Ma'am, Harshada ma'am is joining to make you the host.
Okay.
So it will get corrected.
I'll ask her then how to do all this.
Yeah, so I guess what we'll have to do is that what Urvi does, she comes in the morning before our lecture starts. So she makes you the host and she leaves.
Because somebody did that in the morning for me.
Yeah, that's what.
And
Urvi takes care of that.
everybody, and when she has given the instructions also, so now she has joined.
Uh, that's Harshada ma'am now who will make you the
Harshada
host.
ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. I have given you
Now,
both
now
friends.
it is there. Now it is there. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So we'll have to just remember that when this happens, we do not quit the meeting. Like, do not end the meeting.
I will not end the meeting by any chance. I've lost my 10 minutes today. There is lots to do. Anyway, so fine. Thank you so much and sorry for all the inconvenience. We will get back. Actually, there are all different systems everywhere. Anyway, are you aware about this pedagogy thing? Will you be managing this on your own, or how is it?
Ma'am, we are supposed to manage it of our own. That is basically we write down all the learnings that we had in the class.
Yes, yes.
So
So,
and
are you able to, were you doing this in the last semester?
yes, ma'am. Previously we had it through a Google form. Now it is that we have subject-wise Google sheets
Yes, I saw
by
that.
our name, yeah, by our names. So we do it on that basis, right?
So you don't need any kind of help or assistance or anything like that. You will be able to manage on your own. That's what I wanted to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Because till last year there were certain doubts and all those things. So we used to help, but then I think all of you have understood that.
So, ma'am, if a student has any doubts, so what we recommend is like before getting through the pedagogy forms, they can again go through the video, the recorded session, go through the LMS PPTs, and then they can do it. And if still they have some problem, they can come back in the next session and ask, or the subject leaders are there to clarify the doubts.
Then it's because they shared all this. We used to do writing format earlier. We had those booklets where we used to write and all that. So it's easy now. Fine, no issues. Okay, fine. So we have done this, and thankfully, courtesy our last lecture, we had done this also. So I'm going to just quickly take you through this. But by and large, we had done this, so the task becomes a little easier for us today. Uh, yeah. So this is another this thing which we saw last time. This is about operational effectiveness and strategy, and how they are different strategic positioning. So anybody remembers what was operational effectiveness all about?
Ma'am, uh, you explained about efficiency, that is input versus output. It is a ratio, minimum input and maximum output. And when we work efficiently again and again over a period of time, then we do effective work. So there where our errors get lessened, or they get down, and we are more and more, like, we take less time to do the work and we do it more and more accurately. So that is
So the
operational.
defects are reduced when you are doing the same work over and over again.
Yes.
And I gave you the example. I cited certain instances also wherein, like, the Japanese firms and so many other firms. We had TQM, we had lead thinking, we had so many other such mechanisms which were put into the processes so that we can reduce the number of defects, and the systems became much more efficient. So when we talk about operational effectiveness, what we are saying is that we are doing the same thing again and again in such a way that whatever various activities, and it could be into anything, operational effectiveness, it can be into producing things, manufacturing, selling, delivering a product, after sales service, procurement, inventory control, warehousing, everywhere. If the same thing is done again and again, again and again, similar activities, then you become more faster at that. It will be fewer inputs, less of defects than your rivals. So here also we are working vis-a-vis our rivals. We are trying to become one notch up, but what we are doing is we are doing it through operational effectiveness, trying to achieve operational effectiveness. It also results in lower average unit cost because you're doing the same thing again and again. So the defects are minimized, and therefore because you become better and faster in a given time frame, you are able to do more things with whatever raw material we have. We are, because the defects become less, you are able to produce more. So the result is lower average unit cost of the item. And also we are able to perform similar activities better than the competitor. So that is one approach. That is one mindset. When you are doing the same or the similar activities again and again, but then vis-a-vis this, you have strategic positioning. In strategic positioning, what you're doing is you are trying to deliver a greater value. In operational effectiveness, we are just trying to, sort of, these are known as productive frontiers. You are just trying to achieve those productive frontiers, maybe, pushing them a little higher. But when you are talking about strategic positioning, it is completely trying to give a greater value. You are moving to a newer orbit altogether. It always allows a company to charge higher average unit price. Because why are they able to charge a higher unit price, average unit price? Here we are talking about lowering the average unit cost. That also makes us profitable. But then charging a higher average unit price. Why you can charge a higher average unit price? When it comes to strategic positioning, when you are positioning your product in a particular way.
Ma'am, because of quality, we are giving more value. The quality is best, so we can go for.
Because of the uniqueness that you have created. So I buy Colgate. I can buy a local thing also, or I can buy any other product also. I buy Colgate for a reason. I buy Nike for a reason. I can also go to a dairy station or to any other station and buy and pick up a shoe footwear from there. Or I can go for any other. I have a huge spectrum. But then why do I spend that 20,000 buying a Ultra Boost Adidas? Why do I spend 10,000? What makes me charge that high price and for the consumer to give that high price? And also perform different activities from competitors or perform similar activities in a different way. This we have seen when we were talking about our various case studies. So in operational effectiveness, you are just trying to get a greater efficiency, wherein your average unit cost comes down because of the seamless processes that you have. And when we are talking about strategic positioning, it is the greater value. You are moving to completely different orbit. You are able to, sort of get a better value. The value proposition changes. Also, you are able to charge a higher price, and by performing different activities, there would be terms like building up a core competency, how you bring about the competitive advantage into the system, but that little later. Let's keep it simple as of now. Have you understood this? Okay. What managers think about competition? Thinking of now here we are talking about strategic thinking. How to become a strategic thinker? Like I told you last time also, best when we were talking about best practice mentality of managers, competing to be best in whatever you are doing, and strategic thinker will be competing to sort of be unique. So there are certain best practices that which every industry has. I am just trying to do those activities to the T, or maybe, really in the best possible way. But a strategic leader would be out of the box thinking. Uniqueness. Why everybody, like I gave you Uber's example. Uber is a classic example of this. Whenever unique thing, just mark down these examples and then research about them. See how, because when you will research about them, your horizons, your thinking capacity will increase. You will see the entire fit. How Uber is an excellent example for this. So the worst error in strategy is to compete with rivals on the same dimensions, because then you are only working on operational effectiveness. If you're working on the same dimension, my dimension has to change. Paradigm shifts are needed. so that I can, become unique in whatever I'm doing. So just to summarize, it is creation of unique and valuable position involving a different set of activities. I think examples should start popping in your mind when you are reading all this now. Then strategy is about being different. We know this. And strategic positioning and operational effectiveness are not similar. So this will end our today's this thing, and we will start working now. It's 9:37. I will give you 15 minutes. We'll go into how many of us are there? We are 13 of us, 12 of us. So we will go into breakout rooms. I think 4. We'll make 3 groups now. I'll make 3 groups. Do I have the topic?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
So we all are learning strategic planning and everything, business strategy. So so who are there? Do these people in the companies they hire for, apart from the management? Are there special performers who excel in strategy making? If supposingly I tomorrow want to I'm thinking of establishing a own business for myself. If I want to, I know about strategy, but if somebody who can make us like choosing the best location, choosing the analyzing the market, and this all concepts, are there somebody who are specialized for strategy in the current market now? No.
Definitely. Strategy is something which, what you're asking me, if I get what you're asking, are there any specialized,
Yeah.
you're asking from learning point of view, or you're
No, if some tomorrow, like I would want to start up a business or something. If and it's a big kind of a business, and if I want to hire, if I want to think that I want to excel, if I have a master plan like IKEA or something, so will I hire special strategy makers for this, or like there are any special like that kind of who are makers for the strategy, or it is normal business people who think about implementing the strategies?
Now there are 2 things to this. Number one, if you are thinking of the, like what you're saying, to open up a business like IKEA, that is like a global business.
Yeah.
So for that, you will need a very different type of planning.
Yeah, I'm just curious about it, that if it can be a small thing also. I was just stating an example with that.
Yes, yes. Small, that's what I'm telling you, that it depends upon the kind of business that, so business can be started by 2 people.
Yeah.
Business can be of 10 people, 20 people, and with 10,000 people. As of now, you need to understand that though there are people who, in every field, so you will have financial strategist, you will have marketing strategist, you will have HR strategist, because then if that is the magnitude, then you will need a very different kind of scale that you are talking about. But if you are starting small, if you are starting small and if it is your own enterprise, then this kind of learning that you are doing, you can implement right away with this knowledge, whatever you will be gathering. Number one. Number two, if you also want to hire people with this kind of acumen, then during your interview only, you will see the profile of the people, that if there are people like turnaround strategists, there are people who are into startups these days, who are specialized in, in creating startups, in building up the startups, if the startups is what you're talking about.
Yeah, startups. Yeah.
Yes, so if you're talking about startups, then there are people who are into this, who help you with starting the startups. There are various, so that kind of help is there.
Okay.
So that is there in the market. If that answers your question, because it's a very wide spectrum question that you are asking.
No, I was thinking on this, like supposing if I was thinking my father wanted to start a business, and if I could tell him that, okay, you can hire those people, even before, after knowing marketing management, last year's experience, I was thinking even before we start a business, there should be a proper planning, strategies and everything. And maybe somebody is a responsible person, if they can always consider, if there are like
And you can look at the profiles, kind of profiles that you're getting. Generally, I go by that. Just look at the profile of people and see that, whether they have turned around any businesses, whether they have been associated with the startups, are they successful startups that they have been working with, or they have been instrumental in creating those startups. Then their experience can always be hired,
Sure.
isn't it?
Thank you.
So this is a very subjective question. We need to understand what kind of business it is, and then we will be able to answer this question in a better way. I'll tell you something. When I'm seeing my panel here of Zoom, I can't see breakout rooms. Why so? It was there in the morning. That option is only not there now. Otherwise, there is a special this thing which comes and we easily get into breakout room. It's not there today. I don't know, something has gone wrong with this. Anyway, so we will, what I will do now is that I will give you certain scenarios and let's brainstorm and see from whatever we have learned up till now. We will just, if possible, if everybody can open their switch on their cameras, and then we can, since we don't have something as is wrong today with our setup, with our settings, but we can't waste more time on this. So first scenario is, these are certain lessons which have come out from the pandemic, which I'm going to share. So Sheba, Irene, Irene, I can spell it right now. Ketaki, all of you can, in fact, if we can just, sort of see each other, it will be really wonderful. Aishwarya, I've not met her also. I think so. Janvi, I can see now. Aishwarya, I can see now. Sheba, Kit. Okay. Yes. So I will now start giving you scenarios, and I want all of you to just think for 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then we'll start talking about it. Number one scenario. You can just write it down. This is first lesson from the pandemic. These are very general since we have not done much. So these are very general scenarios. Most of the organizations will now focus on adaptability. Most of the organizations, this is lesson number one. Most of the organizations will now focus on adaptability while planning. Always keep a plan B ready. That's a lesson. That's lesson number one. Lesson number two. Embrace flexible working, effective job sharing, and work from home. Embrace flexible working, effective job sharing, and work from home. And third is, let's go a little emotional intelligence way. Third is, put people first. Put people first, show more empathy as everyone is in the same boat. Put people first, show more empathy as everyone is in the same boat.
Mom, in the third scenario, the last word is everyone is in the.
Everyone is in the same boat. Everyone is in the same boat. So these are three scenarios, as of now, I can see 10 people. I don't know where my another two people are gone. So Niriksha, Aishwarya, and Harshada, you are going to work on the first scenario. What was the first scenario? You're going to speak, not work, speak. Okay, so you only think about for next 5-7 minutes, think only on that. I'm not asking you to collaborate, but when it comes to when I'm going to ask you to speak, then you have to speak on the first scenario. That is Niriksha, Priyanka, and Aishwarya. Is it what I had told you earlier? Niriksha, Priyanka, and Aishwarya. Okay.
And ma'am Harshada, I guess. Oh,
Sorry?
Harshada also.
Ma'am, you told Harshada, I guess.
Harshada. Okay, I'll just write it down. So first was Niriksha,
Aishwarya and Harshada.
Aishwarya, and Harshada is what we thought. Okay. So this is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2. What was scenario number 2?
Embrace flexible,
Yes.
effective job sharing and work from home.
Yes.
Yes.
That's that. For that, it will be Priyanka. It will be Ketaki, and it will be Shiba. Okay. And the third scenario is put people first, show more empathy as everyone is in the same boat. And for that, we have Janvi, Siddharth, Imani, and now we are going to put one more person. So Ujjwala, you will go in the first group with Niriksha, Aishwarya, Harshada. Is Ujjwala also? Okay. And who's left now? Everybody is done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so start working. Nirisha, Aishwarya, Harshada, Ujjwala. It's 9:48. We start our discussion at 10. What you have to do is that I give you 8 minutes to think, introspect, reflect, think that if you are an organization who is aiming at these 3 scenarios, so each group, first group will only think about if I have to build in more adaptability while planning, or sorry, then what can I do? Anything that comes to your mind. And the second group and the third group with their respective scenarios. I go silent now. Anything as an organization, how you can build that into the system.
Ma'am, one question like this: when we are thinking about it, do we have to take particular sector or industry, or it is in general any industry?
You can take a sector and do that if that is convenient for you. If you want to, generally, if you take a sector, it is better. Because then
Then accordingly we can plan or
then
think.
accordingly you can plan. Yes, it is always better to work sector wise. And that is how we are also studying. But then there is no group discussion here. So you can just note down few points, whatever comes to your mind. We'll start the discussion. It's 10 minutes from now. I think Pratiksha is not anywhere. She has joined.
Ma'am, she has joined now, Pratiksha.
She has joined now, and I can see. So Pratiksha, you can go with the third group. It's not a group, but the third topic. And your topic is put people first, show more empathy as everyone is in the same boat. As an organization, if this is the scenario, put people first, show more empathy as everyone is in the same boat. How can you do that as an organization? Okay, so are we ready? Good. So our first lesson from the pandemic and how we strategize for it is focus on adaptability while planning. Always keep a plan B ready. So Nirisha, Aishwarya, Harshada, Ujjwala. So we can just okay. So first, Aishwarya, would you like to go? Whatever your thoughts are, just be very brief. We have 15 minutes, and so 5 minutes for each topic. Whatever one or two points you want to share. You can unmute yourself, dear.
Yes, ma'am. So we are talking on the basis of only COVID crisis, or we can like
These
another
are
example as
these are lessons from the pandemic.
on the pandemic.
Yeah. You want more time to think? Others who
Yeah.
speak? Okay. So we can ask Harshada.
Thank you.
Harshada, any one or two points, dear? Harshada or Ujjwala?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody can speak.
Yeah, yeah. I have written that from pandemic.
Just one or two points.
Yes, ma'am. I have taken education sector, and I have wrote accordingly that it was online education. So the institutes or the educational institutes, like how we are adapting to the online, this making interactive PPTs and interactive platform. So similarly, the planning should be ahead. Like, this is a pandemic, we have learned ki, there cannot be physical school. So in future, if certain same condition or similar condition arrives, then the schools and the teachers should be ready for the online education, and how we can make it more fun or more engaging and more entertaining, or for the children specifically. And same with the adults, adult learning, like how we are doing like case studies, and introducing critical thinking and life skills training into the education sector. That will help children and parents to, because people are getting mentally affected. So the education should be not as just the theory or not just a subject, but life skills also, like critical thinking and like disaster management or certain mental health things. That's what
Very good, Ujjwala. Very nice. Thank you. Okay, who? Niriksha, are you there, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, what I thought about the HR domain of all the IT sectors that we are having. So, the adaptability these organizations are coming up with, going with the AI HR. So, just for two, because HR is one of those domains which takes care of the holistic, like the human people, that the manual thing that has been working there. Because even if we are doing it on computers and everything, we are typing. We are not. There is a manual intervention that is there. So, taking care of the human health and everything. So, the adaptability they are coming up with, that is the going AI, but keeping the plan B. Now, if the HR people if the HR is going AI, what will the HR employees do? So they are also keeping a set of work, that is the plan B. If someone is getting out of the work that they are doing in HR domain, they can be shifted to some other work there, where manual intervention is needed. So that is how they are keeping the plan B ready. So these are the 2 points that I came up with: the adaptability point, where they are going with the AI, taking care of the human resource employment's health, and going and coming up with the plan B, that they are then shifted to some other domains within HR where manual intervention is needed.
Yes, very good. So, Aishwarya, are you there ready now?
Yes, ma'am. I will want to share like in the technology sector. So as the crisis, we are all working from home, and we need technology platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, and so there should be more market research in terms of COVID pandemic, and what are the consumers needing, like user-friendly platforms and more engagement platforms. Like which platforms can be built, especially in the project of Make in India like platforms. So more technological platforms can be built in the terms of making more adaptive and making more user-friendly platforms and less complicated. So similar platforms can be made for work from home situation and also online classes situation in technology domain in this crisis.
So, Harshada, are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So I thought of manufacturing sector where we saw that the working population has been reduced to 50% during the COVID period. So if the similar thing happens again, they can do plan B, like they can do 4 to 6 shifts. Like earlier there were 2 to 3 shifts, they can change it to 4 to 6 shifts, and they can employ all the people. Like they should not pay means the people are not working and they have to pay, or they have to uh, remove people from job. So instead of doing that, they can change it to 4 to 6 shifts, reduce the 2 to 3 working hours, and they can do more shifts, and they can employ all the people.
Now, the problem in pandemic that is happening is, especially in cities like Bombay and manufacturing sector for that matter, that there is a huge outflux of migrant workers which is taking place. So even if we want to have those 4 to 6 shifts, manufacturing sector is going to see a big crunch as far as labor is concerned, because we don't have, it's all migrated labor that we have. So therefore, this particular thing, I don't know how much it will work. Why? Because there is paucity of labor. So, and as Niriksha pointed out, even in manufacturing sector, they are actually going for more and more of digitization, so that the manual work can be done by, and the work does not suffer. So pandemic is a very, very unique situation in which, even if we want to employ people, even if we, especially for the manufacturing sector, it's a huge study that how we can retain our processes the way they are working. If they keep working that way, how to do that kind of a thing, it's a big challenge. And digitization is the only way that one can think of more and more of digitization. Of course, it does not happen over a period of time, but that's the plan B, that how you can make your more organizations more adaptable and increasingly use data analytics and AI into the various processes and functions. So that is about focus on adaptability. We will discuss more of this, when we just are over with all our groups. Thank you very much. And let's go on to our next lesson from the pandemic, which was embrace flexible working, effective job sharing, and work from home. As an organization, as an HR personnel, what do you think? The set of my group, Priyanka, Ketani.
Yeah. The work from home, the culture, it has increased the productivity, and it has, it has made a different mindset in people. Around 42% of people, like, the survey, it was done to analyze around 42 people, 42 companies are, they want to make a positive change by adapting to this work from home trend. And if I consider health sector, like, work from home, even because of artificial intelligence and everything, even like apps like Healthify Me, even like food nutrition and even physiotherapy, there is a profession wherein it is difficult to even think about not doing anything with patients. Even that, though in such a kind of pandemic, has motivated people to take up new opportunities and utilize that hidden talents, and to understand that if nothing is impossible, everything can be worked out. Even the physiotherapists, food nutrition dietitians, they are also having, even I get to know that there are jobs like abundantly available for even doing it, having an option of work from home. So the millennials right now, they are not only salary focused, they also want to have that good work from home culture. Apart from benefits of salary and everything, they want to have that work life balance. and they want to ensure, and in that ways the employers should understand that mental health also should be given a utmost importance when even the family is also not impacted, and there is a kind of work-life balance even in terms of pandemic. So the business or the organization should take that, understand that they should be more, not have that rigid action, rather it should be flexible to the employees, give them opportunities regarding the timings, like be more understanding towards their uh, day-to-day activities and whatever it is, and be more, rather than completely giving a strict intimation that you have to perform a particular task in this rigid amount of time or something. The flexibility should be maintained, that can be mutual benefit to both the organization as well as the employees.
So Priyanka, you're thinking like an employee when you're speaking.
Yeah.
Now the question is that you have to think like an organization. If I
Okay.
can, if I can gauge from, and if I can analyze what you're saying, you're
Yeah.
thinking like an employee.
Okay.
Now my question is that you have been giving a scenario which
Yeah.
is different from the pandemic. Think like an organization. Tomorrow, if you have to hire people, if you have to run an organization, forget about
Yeah.
hiring.
Yeah.
If you run
I
an
got it.
organization, then
Yeah.
how will you build an adaptability into your system? That is the question. Okay, so
Yeah.
think more about it from the organization's point of view. Here, when you're talking from an employee's point of view.
Right. So the policies and the organization should include. I meant that they should be having kind of consideration towards when they are hiring. These all kind of things.
It's not about hiring. Your organization is already in place.
Okay.
Your organization is already in place.
Right.
Now, how will you build an adaptability into the system?
Hmm.
Flexible working, not adaptability, sorry. How will you embrace flexible working hours? It's not easy for organizations. There is always a fear
Yeah.
that, oh, whether my employees will be working at home or not. There's a fear of unknown,
Yeah.
that whether my, so do you, I mean, how do you do that? How do you ensure that that flexible working hours which they
Yeah.
have work from home, are they really working or not? How
Yeah.
do you ensure all that as an organization? Think like an organization. Think more about it. There is no,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
this is an organization's point of view.
Right.
To KCP. Yes, KCP. You have to say anything?
Yeah. Continuing on the same point, ma'am, that flexible working, it is like we all say that we need to embrace flexible working, but that is possible only when there is a kind of mutual trust between the employer and the employee. Like taking a very simple example, like for example, the architecture and design studios that we conduct. So when we are working from home or embracing, we talk about embracing flexible working. So this process, it has to be more focused upon the results rather than the time spent in case of flexible working. So it is more important that students learn from the faculties rather than the amount or the time which is spent for taking the lecture, because more importance should be given to the learning or the result or the output which is coming. That's what I feel. And another thing is that in such cases, effective job sharing, that is dividing the work, okay, is very important, because it is practically not possible to conduct a 7-hour studio online completely. Hence there has to be a split between the faculties, for example, or in any organization there has to be a split between the employees to divide the work equally, so that the other person, he also doesn't get the what we can say, the stress of online working, as well as the efficiency also increases.
Yes. So therefore, we need to devise those small ways how we
Yeah,
can do that, and that becomes a part of the strategy. When you are
correct.
designing, these are new scenarios which are coming up. They were never there. my results have to be, my output has to be same. In fact, it has to grow. But how? Now I don't, I mean, as a superior, I could just go around and, or as a teacher, as a faculty, I would go around and see that, okay, who's doing what. Now, if tomorrow Pratiksha is on her mobile, I won't, I mean, of course, I will come to know because of my experience, but by and large people will not come to, I can make out who's there on the mobile and who's not, because it's been years of training. But then by and large, people will not come to know if you are on the mobile, or if you are wasting your time physically, whether you are present, mentally are you present. So we will not come to know. So we have to devise those small strategies, big strategies and small tactics. Yes, who's the
Correct.
Shiba? Yes, Shiba, can we hear from you?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I've not been able to be on video because of some eye infection which I've got.
Huh.
I've just jotted down a few points regarding it is embracing flexible working. So I have just noted a few points like if we could embrace virtual conferencing once in a day with our employees so that we get to have a feedback from them, and if we can designate this time for meetings, so even the management point of view, time is not wasted, and even from the employee perspective, even their times are being considered. So they have been given a time slot when the meetings can be conducted every day. And if we can set up some clear expectations that what do we expect from the employees, and if there is a clarity from them also about it, it would ease this flexible way of working. And if uh, even the management takes initiative to provide feedback regularly to them, so it keeps a pace of growth and thinking among the employees that they are all in the same page and in the same line. Team bonding is very important, and at times there would be issues where we will have to consider, like when people were coming to the office, it had a different set of excuses or why they couldn't work. And here also online issues are there. So I think that consideration, that empathy towards the employees at some work, what has been done or what has not been done, if we can have an oversight on that, it would be good, is what I feel. And then effective job sharing can be done when we discuss all these common problems, which are the small problems, like can we discuss it out, and if we can minimize those common problems which every employee faces, if we have a cognizance of what they could be going through, and if you could minimize them, that could help with job sharing. And then if there is a division of role among the employees, irrespective of one person taking care of one role and the second person, if there is a division among a team, so even if one person is not there, the other person can take over the job, and it is ease and flow of work is there among a team. So I think that would help effectively. And for the work from home, both the employees and the management perspective, what I have understood is there is a lot of time which is being saved because people are not commuting now. So the time going to the office, these time can be utilized by them in a better way. It is like triggering for the office work. Okay, you're not traveling, you're not getting ready, you're not preparing tiffin or anything, but then you can always use that time for your exercise, for your meditation, or for reading the news, or for keeping yourself updated, or for preparing a schedule for the day, that how you can balance your life and also your work. There'll be set of things when you sit at home. There are a lot of set of things which you need to do at home also. But if you can schedule your timing, I think working from home also can be done effectively for everything that you need to know. And if you can assign a workplace, so when you know when you're sitting in a workplace, your productivity would be more when you're concentrating or focusing on a place.
Why you are mixing the organization's perspective and an employee's perspective.
Yeah, I would done it both.
Yes, so you have to speak from organization's perspective, that how they will ensure this and ensure results. So again, a little bit of, so there is a confusion there while you're speaking about the as an employee's perspective and an organization. So you have spoken a lot of points, they were valid, but then again a little
Yeah.
this thing that I think we will understand. But
Yes, yes.
yes, so we have to rework on that. Thank you very much. Quickly, we will take the third scenario also, which was put people first, show more empathy as everyone is in the same boat. Can we?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Just a quick one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So as per Priyanka ma'am mentioned that work from home increases productivity for sure, and as there are no working hours ensured. So, but in this scenario for COVID pandemic, we have to keep the mental health in mind and then work. So, as an organization, employer or the director or the HR manager, they can take certain measures to maintain work-life balance. Like they can specify the work timings and keep a check or give some tasks at the start of the day, so they can do it and then they are free, or they can concentrate on their personal life or family more. The second point is to ease off the stress, we could plan extracurricular activities. They can also take some sessions, like we also do that, extracurricular or mental health meditation sessions or yoga sessions, what any how the age group is in the organization. And and in COVID time specifically, they can uh, give some compensation or financial help if a employee needs, if he has some family issues. And the last thing was take feedback from the employees to know what lacks in the organization as well as in their in their personal lives, and help them with it.
Okay, so that will take care of the empathy part of it.
Yes, empathy part.
Okay, fine. So good. Yes, Mr. Dutt, can we have a quick one from you?
Yes, good morning. So, I think the entire strategy dimension can be sort of modeled after two very important things which you have said. One is that this pandemic is a very unique thing, so to say, and the other is also in terms of like the alignment in terms of this. So, I think in terms of the uniqueness, even as we've been doing this VUCA thing for the last 10, 15 years, the entire management world. But even McKinsey did not find the right word and therefore just added that extreme VUCA kind of thing. So that sort of shows the magnitude of the problem that we have at the moment, in hands, and we are still passing through. We don't have quite a solution yet. Now, having said that, good strategy, however, good the organization is, could strategy have really foreseen and built sort of mechanisms which could have handled this in entirety? The answer is a clear no, because no organization can. And I think in two extreme ranges, one, we find a company like an Amazon, which has had windfall gains because of the situation that they're in. I mean, as much as they were also equipped and had the infrastructure to do that. And we also have another extreme where hospitality, tourism, airlines, they have really taken the worst hit that can happen. But in the midst of all this, also there are organizations which have coped with this situation, including their employees, much better than others have. Now, in coping, I think there are two dimensions again. One is the preparedness which they had to face the crisis, and that also brings in strategic dimensions. And the other also is the agility which the organization has to be able to adapt. And that brings us to the next point which you have said, which is the adaptability part. And I think the strategic game is all about also here in terms of how well the organization has built capabilities from the human resource point of view, the organization capability and people capability to be, and culturally to be agile and to do this adaptation. So if we take this example of, let's say, the edtech industry, so many organizations today, or even a manufacturing, so today when we say that how digitized are you, I think we all underwent a transformation. Even Anand Mahendra has said that. So a certain amount of readiness was there, but then how quickly we adapted to this whole digitization piece, content development and all of that, and how quickly could we adapt to that is something which was, like the challenge. And some organizations have been able to do an extremely good job, and that's where the credit lies. So therefore, this is all about, the capabilities. See, organizations, whether it is a commercial organization or even an NGO, they always have limitation of resources. Even an NGO will have to have a funding, model. So therefore, this constraint of resources, so no organization, however empathic it is to the employees, will be able to, like do things unless it has the funding line or also is able to make sense of the commercial perspective of an organization. So it's important that we are able to balance that. The last point that I would like to make is that it's also important how we manage ourselves during good times. So there is this saying that if we do the right things during good times, then we do not have to do bad things during bad times. So partly, even as a strategy, how well we have done our strategic manpower planning, how tight-fisted we have been in managing competences, everything counts in terms of, in brief, the overall piece of strategy and managing people. So empathy has to be always qualified by capability of an organization, commercially or even in an NGO context, the funding, the pipeline. Thanks.
Thank you. That was a good insight, and there were a lot of concepts, or there were a lot of triggers that came when it comes to moving with agility and building having the preparedness and all of that. But
The VUCA bit as well. I think what we have been the
yes,
management thing, yeah.
yes.
And some of our colleagues may not be very familiar with that. I mean, because they're just starting the career. I'm at the other end, so
Yeah. So your inputs will always be valued in a very different way, and yeah. But I'm sure all this will come, in a more structured and magnified ways. All these concepts, over our lectures, because a good medicine also you can't have the full bottle.
absolutely.
Has to come in doses so that everybody has a level playing field.
Absolutely.
So that will be ensured. But thank you very much for your inputs. They were really enlightening.
And I just wanted to highlight that even from a strategic point of view, like two things which you used, which is the unique thing, because this situation is extraordinary. Like Mackenzie said, I mean, it's an extreme VUCA, and the other is adaptability. So I think the entire strategic piece is also I mean, not the entire, but a major piece of the strategy. This thing is also the adaptability, the capability of organizations to adapt as fast as possible.
Yes, it's the adaptability, and the agility, which will
Agility.
and the resilience.
And the
which
resilience.
The buzzwords. VUCA has been there since a long time, but how many organizations have really had that mindset? Because mindsets ultimately it's human beings. What
Absolutely.
we're learning, it's actually the human beings and the human mindset. So everything works, but the mindsets, if they are not flexible enough, flexibility is not the function of physical self. I feel it's more of a mental this thing. So if it is not there, then it won't happen. So many concepts are there, and many concepts will be discussed, and a lot of things will come out. How much, again, I would say, how much I'm able to absorb, listen, absorb without any judgment, and then digest it and implement it.
Absolutely.
That is what is so. Even if we are talking about 100% on the spectrum, even if we are able to digest, absorb, assimilate only 20% also, we are good to go. But that thing without judgments and with an open heart and mind, if we are able to listen, I think that will do the magic of the whole thing. So thank you, Mr. Dutt. Shivani and Pratiksha, a quick word from you.
Sure, Suprabha. So I will take an exam. I would like to take an example of the organization I've been associated with, and it is startup in pharma retail. The name of the organization has been Workcell Solutions Private Limited, and the stores were named Generico. Now the brand has changed to Zeno Health. So there was wonderful, empathy and put people first example that came up during the pandemic last year when it started. The major issue was being a startup, the expansion plans were hampered because we were supposed to cross the boundaries and go to Pune, Nasik, and Surat and all, but it was put on a hold. And along with that, there was the factor that came up was like being into pharma, being into essentials that were there, the safety of the people, how much safe they were, how much secure they were from the pandemic, from this COVID. So all the entire leadership team was given this responsibility of conducting the hospitals as well as the admin department of the hospitals and booking and reserving for the beds, as well as because the people were coming from different villages also to work as the executives in our stores. So that it was taken care of, that the ambulance was ready in one go. And there were zones that were given to the leaders. Like I stayed at Goregaon, so the entire area till Malad, Goregaon, and Andheri side was under me. So all the hospitals and all, there was one ambulance that was booked for that particular zone, so that if any person fell ill, then they were rushed in a proper way and people were there to take care of. Now, the result of this was, though there were job cuts and everything has happened, but the result was that the moment the thing seems little normal, the organization was able to expand from 48 stores. Today, there are 82 stores in entire Mumbai. So the
And all
motivation,
during the pandemic?
yes, during the pandemic. That's amazing part that they have done. So the entire thing and the entire credit, I will not say only goes to the leadership team, but it was more of the readiness and the openness in the mind of the people that they were there to help. And that thing was imbibed, that value was imbibed in each and every role. So naturally, there was motivation was very high, the engagement was very high, and the performance never came down. I mean, we made profits till the last. I was associated with them till September, and nowhere it was a loss. It was all profits, and there was break even that happened, and then even as I said, the brand name was changed. So that strategically they have made the system. They defined the system in such a way that everybody got benefited, and even they were people were recruited during the time of pandemic. The trainings were given at that time, though entire structure was revamped, but
Training and development is going to be a
big, it was big responsibility.
one
Yeah.
of the it's 10:30. I'll have to stop you though.
Sure,
It's
sure,
an
sure.
interesting story, but we will definitely. I mean, I love listening to such business stories, but then we'll keep it for some other day.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Prateeksha, just a quick thing from you.
Yes, ma'am. During pandemic, the company will focus on mental health of the employees. So, as Janvi said, the mental health in the organization is measured by the organization. And in the pandemic, they are in stress and in isolation. So, in the workplace, the employees try to connect with them socially and try to find their needs, how how they will they will in the situation in the pandemic.
So that is how they will. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No, ma'am.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, fine. So thank you all for sharing. I'm sorry we exceeded time today. We will carry on our discussion in the next this thing where I'm going to sum up and I'm going to give my inputs also. And we are again going to meet on Tuesday. And if there are any questions and queries, please keep them ready for Tuesday when we have the session. It was very nice meeting all of you. Thank you very much. See you all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
You,
ma'am.
ma'am.